Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the UKG Podcast. It's a Monday, a very, very good Monday. It's been a very, very good Monday considering what happened over the weekend. Chelsea lost, Aston Villa lost, of course, beaten by Manchester United, and Liverpool dropped points. Tottenham, thank you. Thank you very much, Tottenham, for what you did last night. I actually did a hate watch for the game, the first hate watch I've done on the channel. And actually, I'm glad Tottenham drew because all I wanted was a draw. I was a bit frustrated with Tottenham having gone 1-0 down. But in the end, Richarlison came through. Richarlison and Colomwani, they came through and Liverpool drew. So it means United are solidifying Champions League places. United are now third place, comfortably third place with some points. Because we know Chelsea are pushing for Champions League. Liverpool are pushing for Champions League. Champions League is important for United, not only being in that competition, but also in terms of the finances that are required to overhaul the squad, to buy new players. There are a couple of players that are leaving. There might be up to 8 players that are leaving. So welcome. My name is Simon. As usual, get involved in the comment section. Get involved in the chat. Let's have a chat. It's a Monday. We are going to do this. We are going to have fun. Lots to discuss, as well as unpack everything that has been going on over the weekend. I've just mentioned United have won. Chelsea dropped points. Liverpool dropped points. Aston Villa lost, of course, to Manchester United. And it's looking good. A good comeback, considering that United had lost to Newcastle, 10-man Newcastle. And it's good. It's good to see United having that response and pushing, really, really pushing for that Champions League place. So yesterday, Liverpool dropped points. Chelsea dropped points. Good days for United. Shadow, big up. You're saying, good evening, UKG. Hope you had a lovely day and your night is going on well. Yes, it is. I have the week off. At least I'm resting. I haven't had an eventful day per se. Just resting, lazying around. Woke up a bit late because I slept late last night watching that Liverpool game, as well as doing some other stuff. And yeah, the day was lovely. I hope you also had a good day. I also have hope. I also hope you had a good day. Yeah, so yeah, I figured El Gringo, you're the one who changed your name. Why did you change your name to Shadow Null? El Gringo. Why did you change the name? Why did you change the name? So I've set up a poll. I've set up a poll on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. So the poll is all about, can Manchester United realistically qualify for the Champions League next season? Because that's what we'll be discussing tonight. So I want you to go there, check it out. Go check out the poll. Ooh, why did I close it? Oh, I still have it here. Yeah, so United are pushing for Champions League. The UCL dream is on. And I'm happy that United are pushing. You just love the name Shadownan. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So before I continue, you've noticed something different. Yesterday, I mentioned that I've been having trouble having the YouTube graphics, the Kick, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch graphics on TikTok. So I'm going native. So I just have a camera on TikTok. So in case you guys on TikTok want to see the screens I'm sharing, you have to jump over to YouTube because that's where I'll be sharing most of the content. And hey, if you want your comments highlighted on screen, YouTube is the place to be. We are currently at 834 subscribers. Can we end the show at 840? Let's see whether we can end the show at 840. So The UCL dream is still on. The UCL dream is happening. When the season was starting, a couple of months, a couple of weeks after the season started, I think around October there, I wasn't hopeful about Champions League because I was looking at how Amorim was setting up. I was looking at the squad, the players he needs to execute his philosophy, his style of play, and I couldn't see United basically finishing above sixth place. That was me. That was my view when Amorim was here. But now with Carrick in, things have changed. Things have changed. United are sitting third, comfortably in third, although not so comfortable. But Chelsea, Liverpool are dropping points. Aston Villa have had poor form. United are yet to play Chelsea and Liverpool, and there is a chance that they can beat them. We've seen how United played versus Arsenal, how United played versus Man City, and United have a chance. United have a chance to actually solidify that third place. And who knows? Who knows? Probably they can go on. United can go on and actually finish second place if City continue dropping points. City have been dropping points. They've drawn the last two Premier League matches. I'm a bit distracted because I want to make sure the correct mic is the one that is on. Yeah. So when admittedly, when the season started around September, October, there, I said I did not have top four hopes because I looked at the way United were playing and Amorim, the squad, the players, the right fit for his philosophy. It wasn't there, and I wasn't as hopeful. But now I'm hopeful that United will finally make it back to the Champions League. And Carrick has lifted the spirit. Carrick is doing a wonderful job. And one of the debates that has been going on since that game, ever since Carrick started winning matches, because he's won, 8 out of 10 matches? Or am I wrong? Before the game, he won 6, lost 1, drew 1. Yeah, so he's won 7 out of 9. 7 out of 9 matches. That's a good return. I can't remember the last time United went on such a run. United are also scoring goals. As much as United are conceding, it seems like rocket science, United keeping a clean sheet, but things are happening. Things are working. So I'm hopeful. The UCL dream is still on. I wish that this continues. Of course, there needs to be a lot of consistency from the team. The team needs to be very consistent. Right now, it's all about results. Performances, not so much. But the unfortunate bit about just focusing on results is that it is short term, which is needed right now because the focus right now is Champions League. Not really a style of play, not really how patterns of play are done. No, not a philosophy. No, it's not about that at this point in time. The most important thing to do right now is to just keep winning. Get that Champions League, get UCL money, get UCL participation money, get that position to UCL so that you can attract players to come to the club. Then over the summer, next season, United can start thinking about the long-term project. Because if Carrick starts thinking about the long-term project right now, or Manchester United start thinking about it right now, it's not feasible. It's not even realistic. What they can start thinking about in terms of the long term is the player recruitment, the next manager. But in terms of on the pitch, United just need to keep winning. They just need to keep it solid. If they concede 2 goals, they score 4. If they concede 3, they score 6 or 5. They just keep winning. There are only 8 games to go. So United can't afford to lose any games, can't afford to even draw, because the race for Champions League is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. As the games are going towards the end, you need to be solid in terms of what you can produce on the pitch. Yes, I've said you can concede two. United can concede two. They score three. They score four. And one of the things I love about this team is there is that willingness to fight. What we saw in that game, the Aston Villa game, is yes, the United scored the second goal and they went ahead to look for the third, look for the fourth, look for the fifth. And that's a good response from the Newcastle game. So the UCL dream is on. The fans are excited about it. One thing that I'm still sad about when it comes to Manchester United fans, we are finally getting to see the team playing well and winning games. There are some games, yes, the last four games prior to the Aston Villa game, they were not good, but the results have been there. So United are in third place, but the fans are still arguing about things that shouldn't take center stage. After every game, there is always a debate about Carrick, there is always a debate about Amorim, there is a debate about Kobe, there is a debate about Ugarte. Instead of actually focusing on what is working right now is making sure that we support the team, whether you are in the stadium, whether you're in your house, whether you're in a pub, content creators, everyone, they just need to keep supporting United. These players, we had recently some players saying that they do read what we post online, they do watch the videos we post online. And if every other time they go online and start seeing a debate about Carrick versus Amorim, who left, I think, 8 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago, it's still a sad situation to be in. Right, United, I keep saying Manchester United is Manchester divided. Fans are still arguing over it. We should be all celebrating that United are in third place. And yesterday I was really happy for the guys who are with me on the hate watch, the Liverpool versus Tottenham game. I wish you could have seen how I celebrated that Tottenham equalizer. You could have thought I'm a Tottenham fan. But I was happy because United now have created a gap between themselves, Aston Villa, Chelsea, and Liverpool. And the way things are going is, if United continue winning, they will solidify that third place. Then it's left to Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa to fight for the rest of the positions. The UCL is not yet guaranteed for fifth place based on the coefficients. The English teams, all of them that are still participating in European competitions, that is Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, they need to keep winning, keep going to the next round. Because if England have more teams going to the next round, then it means that fifth place is guaranteed for English teams. 5 teams will go to Champions League in England. That is top 5. But if English teams are eliminated in the coming elimination stage, the return legs, then it means that now you are looking at only top 4. So as much as United want to finish in that top 4, they need to make sure that they keep pushing for third place, or solidify fourth place, third place, one of those two, and not go down to fifth place. Because I don't want United to be in a situation where they are looking at other teams and starting to have permutations. Like, for example, Liverpool drew, Chelsea drew, we have to win, or we drew, we are hoping that Chelsea lose, Liverpool lose. No, I don't want such kind of mathematics. I don't want us to start taking out pens and pads and writing down the permutations of who needs to lose, who needs to win. Yeah. So let me read a couple of comments before we proceed. Shadow is saying Chelsea have been banned for transfers. Yes, Chelsea have been fined £10.5 million, as well as they've been given 2 bans. The first team ban, I think 1 year transfer ban, but it's suspended for 2 years, and 9 months in terms of the academy transfers. So this is a case, I think, between 2011 and 2018, that period during Roman Abramovich time. Chelsea made some bad dealings. They had payments that they cannot prove. They paid players some amounts to join them. They paid agents some amounts to have the players sign for Chelsea. And what I'm wondering is how come Chelsea have not been docked points? You look at Everton, pretty much similar case, and Everton were deducted 10 points. You look at teams like Nottingham Forest, pretty much almost similar case, but Chelsea, they don't get docked points. So I don't know. I don't know what the rationale is, but one thing I'm glad about United is as much as United have all these troubles, they don't make such kind of deals. They don't cook books, because one of the things that Chelsea has been fined for is also, I think, third party dealings. It's like dealing with a partner company or an in-house deal. So one thing I'm glad about United is as much as United have all these debts, United have all these issues with funding, player recruitment and salaries and all that, United are not caught in such kind of cases. You look at Man City, you look at Chelsea, their success is questionable. Their success is questionable simply because of the shady business they've been doing. But you look at a club like United, I'm glad. We don't know whether there is an investigation. We haven't had anything. But at least with United, we don't have such kind of a case. I wouldn't want United to be in a situation like City and Chelsea doing bad deals or having shady business so that they can start winning trophies again. No, I wouldn't want to be in a situation like Barcelona as well. I wouldn't want United to be in that kind of a situation. Yeah. Let me see a couple of comments. Kongo, big up, big up. You're saying number 3 is ours. I'm just rewatching highlights. Yeah, it was a very, very good game. The performance was way, way better compared to the previous 4 games. United played well. Everyone played well. Honestly, in that game, everyone played well. Mbumo struggled a bit, but Mbumo I understand because of it's a change of position. One time he's asked to play as a striker, the other time as a winger, and that confuses players a bit. Even if it were you could have been confused a bit. Like you're being asked to play a forward, the next game you're asked to play a winger. Within the same game, you play as a forward, you play as a winger. So it brings some confusion. Bumo is not a bad player. Bumo is a good player. He scores goals, he creates chances, he provides assists, but that change of formation, that change of position has affected him a bit. And I hope that he can find his feet again and continue performing well. So Congo, yeah, number 3 is ours. United just need to keep it rolling, be consistent. So I've posted a poll on YouTube. So guys, I want you to go to YouTube and answer that question. Can Manchester United realistically qualify for Champions League next season? So there are 3 options there. So please head over to YouTube. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button. And then we see what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think, as well as guys on TikTok. Share the stream, guys on YouTube. Kick, Facebook, share, so that we have more guys joining in. Any other comment? Let me see. No, not at the moment. So the UCL dream is on. I believe United will make it to the Champions League. Looking at that table, let me just open the table again. United are third place with 54 points. Aston Villa are fourth place with 51 points. So that's a 3-point gap after that win versus Aston Villa. So Liverpool, having drawn, it's 49 points. They have 49 points at 5th place. Then Chelsea, 6th place at 48 points. So Chelsea are not having a good run. The last 5 games, they've had 2 draws, 2 losses, and 1 win. And next, they are playing Everton. And Everton, we've seen of late, David Moyes is doing a very, very good job there. So Chelsea have had 2 draws, 2 losses, 1 win. in the last 5 games with 48 points. Liverpool have 3 wins, loss, and a draw. Aston Villa have had 1 win, 1 draw, 3 losses. United have had 1 draw, 3 wins, and 1 loss. So the next fixture is Bournemouth. Bournemouth is as tricky as Aston Villa and Newcastle, and it's Bournemouth away. And Bournemouth are a really good team. Even though they lost Semenyo, Bournemouth are still a really, really good team because they haven't lost the last 5 games. However, they've won one and they've drawn the last 4 games. So it's draw, 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 draw. The last 4 games. And they are hosting Manchester United. So United can't afford to lose or draw in that game. Because let me give a scenario why United can't afford to draw or lose to Bournemouth, which will be played on Friday. So, for example, if United draw, let's start with the permutations of drawing. If they draw, Aston Villa win because Aston Villa are playing West Ham, although West Ham are really pushing for survival. If Aston Villa win, they'll have 54 points. United will have 55. Liverpool will have, let's say, Liverpool win. They'll have 52. So if United draw 55, then Aston Villa win 54, Liverpool will have 52, Chelsea will have 51. So the gap there narrows. And Manchester United are yet to play Chelsea and are yet to play Liverpool. So now it becomes a must-win scenario. But if United can go and beat Bournemouth away, then they will have 57 points. Even if Aston Villa beat West Ham, although I think it's unlikely that Aston Villa will beat West Ham based on West Ham's form, them pushing for survival, and Aston Villa not having a good run of form. So if Aston Villa lose points, assuming Liverpool beat Brighton and Chelsea beat Everton, although that's also a very, very tricky fixture for Chelsea, then United still maintain the same gap. So that's it. But if United lose, they will still be on 54 points. Aston Villa will now be on 54. United will be third place based on goal difference because Aston Villa have a goal difference of +3. And then Manchester United have a goal difference of 13, +13. So United +13, Aston Villa +3. So they will still be on the same points. They'll have the same points, 54, 54. But if Liverpool win, Chelsea win, then Liverpool will be on 52, Chelsea will be on 51. So that means that there will be a 2-point difference between United and Liverpool and a 3-point difference between Manchester United and Chelsea. So United have to win. United have to beat such teams, especially the winnable games like Bournemouth, Leeds, Sunderland. United simply have to win. They simply have to win. They can't afford to drop any points. They can't afford to drop any points because the UCL dream has started. It has started. It's here. United just need to keep winning. Just need to keep winning. Because with 8 games to go, it can be done. But let's give credit to Carrick. Carrick has done a very, very good job. He sorted out some of the fundamental issues we saw versus Newcastle and versus Everton, versus West Ham. And we saw a very good performance from Kobe Mainu and Casemiro. They had a very, very good performance in that midfield. The first few minutes, it was a bit shaky, but once they settled down, they started playing well. Kobe Mainu had a very, very good game. Casemiro bossed that midfield. And one of the things that has been subject to discussion today online is, should Manchester United keep Casemiro for one more season? There are reports stating that United would like to open talks with Casemiro so that he can stay for one more season. There are also some players who are interviewed. For example, who was it? Cunha was interviewed, the post-match interview. He said He would like Casemiro to stay. So he mentioned some of the players are asking him to stay for one more season. But you look at how United are moving. United want to reduce the wage bill. They want to reduce the spending on wages. Casemiro is on 350k, and United need to free up some of that money so that when they go for other players, they can be able to pay salaries. The Casemiro salary can pay 2 or 3 players. Assuming you take 2 players at 100 and 1 player at 50, you still have some money left. Because 350, even if you pay 2 players 150, and another player 50, it's still good money for salaries, Because 350 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And United need signings. So you look at players like Cunha, Mbumo, who are earning less than 200k a week. I believe one is at 170, the other one is at 180. Those two, basically it's Casemiro's salary. His performances are good. Would I want Casemiro to stay one more season? Yes, of course I would. And United go for other midfielders. I'm sure Casemiro wouldn't mind coming off the bench as a squad player. And in fact, he can be instrumental in some of the games like Champions League, like FA Cup, knockout stages and all that, because Casemiro is experienced. Yesterday during the watch along, I was even asking, is there anyone in that Premier League, in the entire Premier League, who has won more trophies than Casemiro? I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone currently in that Premier League, playing in the Premier League, that has won more trophies than Casemiro. Casemiro has 5 Champions Leagues. Casemiro has more Champions Leagues than Manchester United, the entire club, than Man City, the entire club, than Arsenal, the entire club. He has won a lot of trophies. So keeping someone like him on for experience and then having youngsters being signed, or even new players who are seasoned, players who have Premier League experience, and they find Casemiro there, he will be a very good mentor. He will be a very good leader. We saw him in that Aston Villa game. He was immense, So I wouldn't mind keeping him for one more season, and that's it. That's it, just one more season. Yeah, so the club wants to see whether they can have a chat with him, whether he can stay. There are no indications from Casemiro that he would want to stay. So the news are still coming out that he might decide to change his mind. Remember, in December, he announced that, December or January, he announced that he's going to leave the club. There are a lot of Saudi clubs that want him. There are a couple of Italian clubs, as well as clubs in the USA who would want him. For example, I know Inter Miami would want Casemiro there. Cristiano would want Casemiro to play with him in their club. So let's see how it goes. But Casemiro, he's been good. He's one of the reasons why United are performing well. And this season, we saw whenever Casemiro leaves the pitch, United struggle. United struggle a lot. Kobe Mainu finally had a good game. He didn't have good games. The last 3-4 games, he didn't have good games. But let's give credit where it's due. As much as we criticize, we also have to praise. Kobe Mainu had a good game. He had a solid game. A couple of forward passes. He was confident on the ball. He was available for the pass. He was dropping deep to connect defense and midfield and attack. And looking at how Casemiro and Kobe played, it allowed Bruno to have that sense of freedom. Actually, Bruno started to perform well, started to have more influence in the game when Kobe and Casemiro had control of that midfield. When both Kobe, Casemiro started controlling the midfield, Bruno was popping up everywhere, and you saw the chances he was creating. 2 of them from the left-hand side. It allowed Cunha, Šeško to get a chance at goal. So that's what a player like Bruno needs. If United can go and look for players that can allow Bruno, can allow Cunha, can allow Ahmad, can allow Mbumo to just roam free and do their stuff, and tell these guys, hey, look, we are back here. We are helping you defend. We'll control midfield. We'll give you the ball. You go up there and go up front and create chances, score goals. That's what happened in a nutshell. The moment those two got settled, it was easy for Bruno. But whenever the midfield doesn't work, it forces Bruno to drop deep, to try to engineer moves, to try to engineer passes, to try to engineer chances. And we don't want to have Bruno dropping in when you have Casemiro and Kobe Mainu. In fact, there was some instances where Casemiro was going forward to try and score goals. That shows that midfield had control. So next season, hoping Bruno will stay. Of course, there are reports that he's going to stay. But if Bruno stays, and when Bruno stays, United need to look for those sort of midfielders that will do most of the hard work in terms of controlling midfield, in terms of defensive, and then allow the front four to go and do their stuff. Sheshko looked like a player who's free to do whatever he wants. He was running free. Bruno as well. Because at the back of their mind, they know I don't have to keep tracking back to defend. So that needs to be process that continues with United. As I said yesterday in the match build-up, United need to build their squad around something. There are teams that build the squad around a player. There are teams that build the squad around a certain style of play. There are teams that build around certain aspects of the game, like transition, like Arsenal have built around, they focused around set pieces and being solid defensively. But United need to have something they've built around. So if they need to build around Bruno, to allow Bruno to run free and be as creative as he is, then we will see more and more better performances from Bruno. And that brings me back to, or now to the next topic about Bruno. Bruno also had a very, very good game. Bruno had a very, very good game. And a couple of fans are debating online whether Bruno deserves to be the player of the year. Why did I even write PFA? Let me just change that to EPL so that it's not confusing. So there has been a huge debate online last night and today. Fans arguing. And a lot of those fans that are arguing against Bruno getting player of the year or being awarded player of the year are Arsenal fans. Are Arsenal fans. Yesterday I did mention, I said, don't be shocked if you see Declan Rice in those debates. And it happened. It's happening right now. Some Arsenal fans believe that Declan Rice should be the one who's given the Player of the Year award. I also say that when Arsenal win the league, there is a high chance that Declan Rice is the one that's going to be given. But we can't assume, we can't throw away facts. The fact is Bruno is performing very well. He's performing like Kevin De Bruyne when he was one of the top creators in Europe. Yes, United are not winning any title this season, but Bruno is producing the numbers. He's 5 assists away from breaking an EPL record. He's already broken a United record in terms of assists, PL assists in a season. So with 8 games to go, he only needs 5 assists and he breaks the record. The current record is 20 assists held by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. So he just needs 5. He's currently at 16 assists. So I don't see why there is this argument that, because Bruno is only playing one competition a week, he shouldn't be given Player of the Year. I mean, it's Premier League Player of the Year. Which other competition are we looking at? You can't say because Declan Rice has played more games than Bruno, he deserves it. At the same time, it's called Premier League Player of the Year. It doesn't make sense. Some of those arguments don't make sense. I've seen a couple of arguments that, no, Bruno has only played one competition all year. So why should he be given? Okay, fine. Who else? Declan Rice. Okay, why? He hasn't scored more goals than Bruno. He hasn't provided more assists than Bruno. He hasn't created more chances than Bruno. So why should he be given? Declan Rice has been playing 3 games a week. Okay, are they Premier League games or are they also Champions League, FA Cup, and Carabao? No, 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 no. We can't award a player who's only playing one competition, but the award is Premier League Player of the Year. It's not all competitions Player of the Year. It's Premier League. So for me, I'd say give it to Bruno. Bruno deserves it. It's more or less like David De Gea. Bruno is our David De Gea right now. You remember when David De Gea used to save United? United could have lost a lot of games if it weren't for David De Gea. Right now, you look at that team, Bruno and Šeško are doing a wonderful job getting points for United. There is this argument that, most of the Bruno assists are corners, are set pieces. Well, in that case, how many assists does Declan Rice have that are from set pieces? Let's argue now. If you're arguing that many of Bruno's assists are from set pieces, corners, free kicks, then how many does Declan Rice have from set pieces? Let's remove. How many does each have? If in terms of GA, who has more? If in terms of chance creation, who has more? So I don't get where the debate is. Also, guys, let me know in the comment section. Do you think Bruno deserves it? Do you think Bruno deserves Player of the Year? Let me read some of the comments before we proceed. Let's see. Thanks for everyone who has joined. A couple of guys have really, really joined. I appreciate you all. Let's see. Bruno Cunha. I like the name. You're saying, big up. We should also acknowledge Amorim scouted the team. Well, it's a fact. I don't care what most of the guys think about this. I usually don't mind guys saying I'm hating on anyone, because I've come to realize a lot of Manchester United fans have a thin skin, not thick skin, thin skin. I was having a chat with one of the UKG members, followers on DM, and he shared a video Nonso did about how Bruno benefited from Amorim, and he gave a very detailed analysis of it. He came with facts. He did it. It's a bit of a long video, but he explained with facts. And one of the statements he said that caught me while I was DMing with the fan is, I told him, I said that a few months ago, and a lot of fans, a lot of guys who are listening in that time, a lot of guys who are live watching that time didn't agree with me. I said one of the things that Carrick is benefiting from is these players were really coached. As much as they did not fully how will I put it? As long as they did not fully take on Amorim's coaching, but there are some things you can see right now that they were doing during Amorim's time. They are doing right now at a much better level compared to last season. You look at Bruno. Bruno right now, he looks more mature. He looks a bit of an all-rounder. He can be a DLP, he can be a box-to-box. His defensive attributes are better. He's reading the game better. He's understanding the players around him better. And he has grown from that sort of coaching, playing deep as a midfielder. So I wanted to say that a lot of fans have a thin skin. They can't be able to see and accept hard truths and hard facts. It's all to do with emotions. It's all to do with sentiment. It's all to do with an agenda. It's not an agenda. Sometimes you just have to remove the veil of emotion, the veil of sentiment, and look at things the way they are. For example, when you say a certain player has not had a good time the last couple of games, it's not hate. It's just calling it as it is. It's just calling it as it is. It's one thing to criticize a player's performance and say he hasn't performed well, he needs to improve. That's criticism. Hate would be something like he needs to leave the club. I hate him. I don't want him to play. He shouldn't even have a United shirt. Those are two different angles. So when Bruno Cunha, you say we should acknowledge Amorim scouted the team, it's a fact. He was involved in looking for these players. And one of the things he insisted on is Premier League proven players who've already played in the Premier League. And of course, he worked with Berada, Vivel, and Wilcox. There are a couple of players they did not agree on. For example, Watkins, they did not agree on Watkins, they went for Sheshko. They did not agree on Lamens, they did not agree on, Martinez, they went for Lamens. And it happens. It's normal. Even us in our daily lives, when we are deciding something, when you are looking at a project, we will disagree. It doesn't make someone bad. It doesn't make someone look bad. It's just that at times, when you look at how United are operating, they're operating in a sense of the scouting team have their data, the recruitment team have their data, the manager knows what he wants, the director of football is the one that's in charge of making these transfers happen. So if they sit around the table, let's say if they put it in a vote, 5 say no, 2 say yes, then of course they will go for the majority based on the data and facts they have. If there are options. So Bruno Cunha saying that Amorim scouted this team, it's there. He was part of the team that was discussing the players that he wants. And finally, we are seeing good return from the players. You remember that famous quote by Mourinho? He said, you look at Man City, the likes of Otamendi, he mentioned De Bruyne, he mentioned Silva, he mentioned Aguero, and he said those are investments from the past. You remember that famous interview he did? So it's the same with United. So the next manager coming in will find still a good number of players. The next manager will find Sheshko, he will find Ahmad, an investment from the past. He will find Mbumo, he will find Cunha, he will find Heaven, he will find Yoro, he will find Dogu. That's a very good core of young players. Because on that list that I've mentioned, it's only Cunha and Mbumo who are 25 and above. The rest are 23, 20, 18, 19. And that's a good base to start from. In the morning, I was I was just chatting in Sal's podcast. And we were saying, Sal is United Post. So we were discussing, basically the morning podcast was about future transfers and who United need to buy and all that. And he mentioned something that actually made me have some belief that Luis Enrique is the best fit for United. So Luis Enrique went to PSG. He got 8 players, 8 young players. Some of them were expensive, some of them were not. And he also got some academy players into the first team. So you look at Luis Enrique, when he comes to United, he will find a very, very good core, a player age between 18 and 25. United currently need 8 players. So if Enrique comes in and says, the 8 players, I want them young, I want players that can run for 90 minutes, it's still a good investment. United don't need to go for shiny new names. United don't need to go for the likes of Elliot Anderson at 100. No, they can actually go somewhere and get a player for 35 million who can run 90 minutes. And if Luis Enrique leaves, the next manager comes on, you'll still find a good base, a good player core that he can work with. So I agree with you. Some of the things guys have so much hate for Amorim such that they can't even credit some of the good things he did. He did a lot of bad things and he did a lot of good things. You look at some of the players that he got rid of. Right now, they are not performing. Anthony is sitting on the bench at Betis. Rashford is sitting on the bench at Barcelona. Garnacho, Agent 49, we know what is happening to him at Chelsea. Sancho, barely playing at Aston Villa. Højlund, on and off again. So that's good. He got rid of some of the players who are terrible. He just told them, go. I'll work with these ones. So, yes, Amorim lost games. He finished 15th. He lost the Europa League. He lost to Grimsby. He did all those terrible things. But there are still some good things he did. For example, when he was around, we didn't have a lot of injuries. United did not have a lot of injuries. Right now, United have how many injuries? He came in, he broke player power. Players no longer had a say. It's either you do what the coach wants, or the manager wants, or you leave. That's a good thing. There was a lot of toxicity in that dressing room. He removed that. And now Carrick coming in, he found a much better dressing room than when Amorim came in. But now when we say such kind of things, I haven't even read the charts. I'm sure there is someone who's going to come and say, I'm an Amorim sympathizer, just because I'm addressing Bruno's Cunha comment. Because a lot of United fans have a very thin skin. They don't want to argue with facts. They don't want to accept hard truths. They just want to deal with sentiments and emotions, Then Bruno Cunha, you're going and saying Casemiro is worth every penny we spend on him. Yes, he is. He is. But now my worry is I don't trust Ineos. To keep Casemiro and still say they have money to sign players. I don't know. Kizzy, big up. You're saying you're right. I'm not sure what you meant by that. AC Milan, Juventus. Oh, I think you meant the Casemiro chat we were having. So in fact, let me just change this to just chatting now. I think we are done with the topics of the day. We only have around 12 minutes. 12 minutes. So let's just change to just chatting. So post any comments. Let's discuss any question you have. Anything you want us to have a chat about, just let me know in the comments and then we'll have a chat. So let me see another comment here. No other comment. But going back to sentiment, emotions, and all that, United fans just need to calm down. Sometimes just look at things from a logical angle, not an emotional angle. Not everything should be argued. You should be argued based on emotion. So you might find a fan. You can come and say, for example, I don't think Bruno had a good game. Many will say, oh, Probably you didn't watch the game. They might even be abusive. They might be harsh on him just because he expressed his opinion that Bruno did not have a good game. But have you had his point before you rubbish it? He might have a point that you haven't seen. Have you had it before you rubbish it? You know. So sometimes just think logically. Don't be so emotional when reacting to things. Just calm down, listen, try to understand, try to figure out what is this person's trying to say. Because many a times, even you guys have seen it. Casey and I, we say, for example, Kobe did not have a good game. And that's after a watch along. We just say, we don't think Kobe had a good game. Or I say, I don't think Kobe had a good game. Immediately, what happens? Oh, you hate Kobe. Oh, you have an agenda versus Kobe. Oh, this and that and that. No, I don't. Just mentioning. Or I say, oh, actually, Dalo had a good game. Diogo Dalo had a good game. We most of the time we don't give him credit, but he had a good game. And then you find someone saying, "Oh, you don't know ball. Your ball knowledge is zero. Dalo should be sold." And you know why? It's because Dalo just missed a chance. Just missed one chance. A fullback. So sometimes just calm down emotionally. Just be grounded. Football debates are very interesting if you are grounded. If you don't put emotions into it, actually you can learn a lot by what other people are saying. Sometimes I just listen. I go to podcasts, I go to debates. Nowadays I like going to TikTok, listening to some of the podcasts, listening to some of the guys debating on there. Like yesterday I joined um live TikTok live after the Liverpool game. They were discussing about La Liga teams wouldn't survive in the Premier League. And actually, the four guys were having a very nice debate. Of course, some of the things they were saying were not facts, but when you try to listen to their reasoning, you can see this guy is he's thought of something I haven't thought of. And then they started having a combined 11 of La Liga and Premier League, and you see how they are arguing their team. Each person is arguing why they've selected certain players for their team, their combined 11. And you see this guy actually, as much as some things I did not agree with, but he was on to something. So football debates are interesting. Trust me, when you put emotions aside and just decide to debate, you learn even more about football. Because one of the things I learned a while back, I used to coach field hockey. When I was doing my coaching badges, I remember one of the sessions we had was analyzing the game in certain phases. So let's say it's defensive phase, you just analyze your defenders. You don't look at attackers, you just look at defenders, how they are positioning themselves, how the goalkeeper is positioning himself. And field hockey and football, they have some similarities in terms of 11 versus 11. Positioning is almost similar. The only difference is one is using a hockey stick and a small ball, the other one is using a bigger ball. But the size of the pitch is similar. It's almost similar. So what I learned through those coaching badges is whenever I watch football, I look at that. I look at the ball is in the midfield. How are United players positioning themselves? How are the opponents positioning themselves? When you go to forward, how are they positioning themselves? And one of the reasons I said I stopped doing match football analysis, match analysis for United is because each time I go to like do an analysis, it's confusing. You try to look for patterns in the Manchester United game, you can't find it. So all is to say that when I mentioned that yesterday, I got a lot of stick for saying it. In fact, I got one of the fans in my DM during the live saying, I don't know what I'm speaking about. I hate United. But for a fact, if you just look at the game in terms of analyzing how it is played, I in fact told the fan, just go on YouTube and look for the last 5 games done by analysts, the guys who analyze United, and tell me what's the one consistent thing you've seen in all those analyses. So, guys, just argue with, number one, history. You need to understand history. You need to understand football in terms of not only scoring and assisting XGs and all that. And the third and final thing, you need to actually try to see someone's POV, not only just arguing for the sake of arguing and just labeling it. Nowadays, this world we live in, everything is labeled as agenda, woke and agenda, just to dismiss a point. Okay, Konuko, you're asking, or you're saying, for midfielders, I would prefer Casemiro to extend. We signed 2 EPL proven midfielders. I would also like that. One of the midfielders I was looking at today is El Hadj Malik Diouf. El Hadj Malik Diouf is a midfielder United definitely should be looking at. There are a couple of midfielders that are playing in the Premier League that are not really expensive, but they can do the job at United. United don't need to go for big names, expensive names, an expensive shiny toy. No, it might not even work out. For example, as fans, we are pushing for Elliot Anderson. United might pay the 120, 100 million, and it doesn't work out. Or United might pay the 80 million for Wharton, and it doesn't work out. But there are some buys, 25, 30, 40 million sort of players who you can buy within 2 seasons. If it doesn't work out, you can still sell them at 20 million, So I agree with you in terms of PL proven players. The issue with the Premier League is you'll always buy them at a premium. Premier League, you'll always buy players at a premium. So if a player is valued, for example, let me go to the transfer market right now and look for El Hadji Malik Diouf. He's a very, very good player. I was actually looking at him and his style of play, his statistics, and I was like, why aren't United actually looking at him? Because there are reports that United are interested, but when I tried digging, there wasn't so much in it. So, for example, let me look at transfer market. El Hadj. Okay. El Hadji Malik Diouf. He's a really, really good player. He's a very, very good. And he's 21. And he had a very good AFCON, So, let's see. Yes, El Hadji Malik Diouf. He's 21, Senegalese. And he's a very, very good player. Very, very good player. He can play left back. He can play midfield, in terms of left midfield. He can play left back. So, in fact, if United decide to go for a 4-3-3, he could be one of the left midfielders. So, currently, he's valued at 28 million euros. Because United need left wingers and a left back. So, 28 million euros, of course, if United go for him, you might hear it's around 50 million pounds. But these are the sort of players United should be looking for. They are not expensive buys. They are at a good age. 21 is a very good age. He's had a good time at West Ham. And why not? Because the main position is left back. He can be another dog that can play left back, left mid, left wing. That's a good buy. Someone else is Joao Gomez. Joao Gomez is a very, very good player. And the fact that Um, let me see. Or am I forgetting Gomez? Is it Joe Gomez Wolves? I keep forget. I keep. Yeah, Joe Gomez. Yes, Joe Gomez is also a very very good player. He's 25, Premier League proven, and I want to see how much it costs. Transfer market. He's also a good midfielder. Wolves are getting relegated. He wouldn't be as expensive. So why not go for him? Why only focus on top of the line players? Sometimes if you don't have money, you just go for players you can afford. So Joao Gomez, he can play as a CDM and he can play as a CM, and he's currently valued at 40 million euros. And the value is going down because Wolves will be relegated. So if Wolves are relegated, they will happily take 30 million, 35 million. 30 million, 35 million. So let me see any other comment before we end the live. And guys, please jump over to YouTube. I've posted a poll. We only have 4 votes. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good. It's not good. Yeah, so Konuko, I agree. Give Casemiro one more season and then sign 2 PL proven midfielders. But one thing I will say is this: United fans need to accept that when United go out and sign players, some of the favorite players, the fan favorite players, will start off the bench or won't play at all. Because where United are heading right now is if they buy good players and the current players are not performing well, they'll sit on the bench. So the player FC needs to end. Player FC needs to end. It's funny right now that no one is talking about academy. Why academy graduates are not playing. A few weeks ago, it was a very huge debate. The United way, the academy this, the academy that. All of a sudden, no one is complaining. You see how agenda can be twisted. Sammy, big up, Sammy. You're saying, hey, UKG, as a Manchester United fan, I'm liking Sheshko as a striker. He's adapting well to the EPL. With time, I think he's going to be a better striker. I like his positioning in the field. Sheshko is good. Sheshko is good. And he's a young striker. He's a very, very young striker. The unfortunate part about strikers at United is the forwards don't really get a lot of service. United players, I don't know how they train. I don't know whether it's a training issue or it's a mentality issue or it's the opponent setting it up. As I told you, I try to analyze games. I stopped because I'm trying to look for patterns I can't see. You look at other teams, you look at how they are looking for their forwards, how they want to give their forwards balls to go and score. United rarely do that. You look at that Sheshko goal, that's a poacher's goal. That's a poacher's goal. That shows you he has all the attributes to be a very, very top striker. Because he jumped over 2 players, turned on the half turn, shot, deflected in, goal. There is that goal. There was a cross. I can't remember who crossed the ball. He just put his leg before the defender's leg and deflected the ball towards goal. So Sheshko is a very, very good striker. The unfortunate bit about United is it's like they don't know how to play with a forward. You look at teams like City, the way they are playing like to create chances for Haaland. That's why Haaland scores a lot of goals. You find one of the reasons why someone like why am I forgetting this name? The Arsenal striker. That tells you I'm getting sleepy. So my weakness. So you look at how Arsenal are playing. They couldn't score goals with strikers, but eventually he started scoring. Why am I forgetting that name? Oh my god! Wow! I've completely forgotten. I've completely forgotten the name. Ooh, I have to Google it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need to do some training on my mind to remember names. How can I forget the name? This is embarrassing. Victor Yokeres. Come on, wake up, wake up. Yeah, you look at how Victor Yokeres started at Arsenal. He was struggling because he was not getting service. All of a sudden, they fix it. He started getting service and he's scoring goals. He's scoring goals. I wish Sheshko was receiving as much service as Hoyland was receiving. Hoyland was receiving not much of service, a bit of service, but he was wasting a lot of chances. Hoyland was having one-on-ones missing, headers missing. But you look at Sheshko, the few chances he gets, like he came on and could have scored with his first touch. Post. He's been playing as a sub. He's United's current super sub. So United just need to find a way to play with strikers. Even if United go for someone like Carrick and they don't give him service, he won't score. You remember, in fact, when CR7 was around, one of the complaints one of the complaints he had was he was not getting enough service. He was bashing players, and that's something Sheshko also needs to start doing. He needs to start going to Cunha, Mbumo, Ahmad, Bruno, Kobe, Casemiro, and telling them, hey, come on, I'm not getting the ball. Give me the ball. You remember also Hoyland, there was a time he was really frustrated because he's in a good position. Garnacho is not giving him the ball. Garnacho wants to score. Yeah, so United need to learn how to play with these strikers. Whether it's through training, I don't know what they need to do. But Sami, I agree with you 100%. He's settling. He is settling. He is settling. So the poll, let's end the show. The poll is at 4 votes only. That's a bit disappointing. But at least we've gotten one more subscriber. We are at 835 subscribers. We want to see whether we can get to 1,000 subscribers before Easter. So guys on TikTok, in case you haven't, please go to the YouTube channel, United Core Ground, and hit that subscribe button. Isaac, big up, Isaac. You were saying, before I read Isaac's comment, I was to give the poll results. So we had, I had asked, can Manchester United realistically qualify for the Champions League next season? Yes, maybe, or no. So 75% yes, 25% no. Ooh. So 25% of the voters think no, they can't make it. So Isaac, big up. You're saying Sheshko seems to have a high ceiling point. He has. And we are yet to see the best from some of these players. Honestly, we are yet to see the best out of some of these players. For example, I don't see we've seen the best of Ahmad. I don't see we've seen the best of Mbumo. I don't think we've seen the best out of Cunha. I don't think we've seen the best out of Dogu, the best out of Heaven, the best out of Yoro. We haven't seen the best out of a lot of these players. You look at Yoro right now, he's settled. He's very, very settled. Because he's had a couple of games and the match fitness is there, the match rhythm is there. So some of these players will start seeing the best out of them with a more settled squad and at least knowing who the next manager is, who the next head coach is. So Sheshko has a very, very high ceiling. And I believe if Mbumo, Cunha, Bruno, Ahmad can learn how to play with him, Sheshko can become a top scorer in Europe. Sheshko can score up to 40 goals a season. Because this guy is young and he's wrestling. He's beating EPL defenders in his first season. In his first season, he's able to hold off EPL defenders. What if he gets his second, third, fourth, fifth season? He has been able to deal with very tough defenders, and he has scored goals. So give him chances, give him service. I would rather he gets 10, he misses 10, then we say he's a flop. But we can't have Sheshko getting 2 chances, missing 2 of them, and then saying he's a flop. No, that's unfair. I keep saying a very efficient forward, a very efficient striker scores 3 out of 5. That is world class. That is absolutely world class. How many goals does Haaland miss? How many goals did Salah miss when he was top scorer? How many goals did Messi miss? How many goals did Ronaldo miss? Even right now, Ronaldo misses goals. So a very efficient forward, give him 5 chances, he will score 3. But for us fans, we want to be not even a bit, we want to be unrealistic. 1 chance, 1 goal. The next chance, another goal. The next chance, another goal. We want every chance to be a goal. No, it doesn't. It might hit the keeper, it might hit the posts, it might be deflected off goal. If we are talking about one-on-ones or we are talking about penalties, then if you are talking about 1 chance, 1 goal, then still it is the expectation is higher. But also players miss penalties. Also players miss one-on-ones. Remember Fernando Torres? Fernando Torres beat everyone in that United backline when he was at Chelsea. He beat everyone. Then what did he do? He kicked the ball out. Empty net, he kicked the ball out. And Torres was one of the most lethal forwards back then. So, yeah, Sheshko has a very, very high ceiling. Isaac, you're also saying we need to hit 72 points to seal the Champions League spot. Simply 6 wins out of 8 remaining. Yes, with 72 points, United can finish even 4th or 3rd. When we started the show, I said United have to beat teams like Bournemouth. That's where the problem comes in. Beat Bournemouth, beat Leeds, beat Sunderland. And then when they meet Chelsea, Liverpool, it's now a gamble. Because Chelsea and Liverpool are also fighting for top 4. So I wouldn't want to have a situation where United, let's say, drop points versus Bournemouth, drop points versus Sunderland, Leeds, and then when they meet Chelsea and Liverpool, it's a must win. I wouldn't want as fans to be subjected to that kind of stress. It will be much easier if those small teams, with all due respect, they beat them. Then when we get the big games, even if they go either way, there's still a huge gap because Chelsea, Liverpool are dropping points. Let me see Liverpool's fixtures. Let me just have a look at Liverpool's fixtures before we end. Actually, we've extended by 13 minutes. Let's see. Liverpool fixtures. So when I look at Liverpool fixtures, they are playing on Wednesday Galatasaray, then they go away to Brighton, and then they are playing Man City. They are playing Man City after Brighton. So Man City are pushing for a win because they know if they lose that one or they drop points, the league is gone. So United can't take advantage from that. United can't take advantage of that. If Liverpool drop points and United, by the time they are meeting Liverpool, they've beaten Leeds, they've beaten Bournemouth, it's an advantage. So from the current point gap, you can add another, let's say, 7 or to 9 points by the time they are playing each other. And you see, Liverpool are also yet to play Everton, Derby, and then they are yet to play United. So assume Liverpool draw points versus City, draw points versus Fulham, draw points versus Everton. By the time United is meeting them, the gap is widening. But if United, let's say, draw, lose, win one in between, or win two, lose one, draw one, then the point is volatile. The gap is volatile, that is. So they just need to keep winning. Sorry, not City. City is FA Cup. Sorry about that. So Liverpool, let's say they are meeting Everton. My bad. I confused them. Sorry. So Liverpool are playing Brighton, they are playing Fulham, they are playing Everton, a derby, then they are playing Palace, and then they are meeting United. So by the time they are meeting United, let's say they've dropped 4 points. Let's say they've had draws, loss here and there. The gap keeps widening, you know. You look at Chelsea, United are also playing Chelsea at some point. So let me just open the United fixtures so that before we end. So United are playing Bournemouth on Friday. Bournemouth on Friday. Then there is a 2-week break. They play Leeds at Old Trafford. Then they meet Chelsea. So by the time United are meeting Chelsea, let me look at the Chelsea fixtures. Chelsea fixtures. So in that time, Chelsea will have played Everton and Man City. Now, the example I was giving about Liverpool. So Manchester United are playing Bournemouth and Leeds before they meet Chelsea. So if United get 6 points from those two games, 6 points from those two games, and Chelsea get only, let's say, 3 points because they are meeting Everton and then they are meeting Man City. So let's assume they beat Everton and then they lose to City or they draw to City. United will widen the gap. So it's important United to beat those teams in between. Bournemouth, to beat Leeds. By the time they are meeting Chelsea, they have 6 points in the bag. So even if it's a draw, United still have a huge gap because Chelsea will play City. And then after that, they are playing Brentford at Old Trafford. Get 3 points because the next game is Liverpool. So I would rather United gamble with those two games, Chelsea, Liverpool, having points from Leeds, Bournemouth, Brentford. And then it's Sunderland, Nottingham Forest. And those are winnable games. Spongy, you are saying they or we because you are not ours. I don't understand. I don't understand what you are saying. Are you okay? Spongy, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you fine? Are you safe? Are you sober? Are you sober? Are you okay? Yeah, so if I say they, if I say we, I just mean the same thing. I'm a United fan, so sometimes I'll say we. If I say they, anyway. Haruna, why are you laughing? Read it in Swahili, bro. Read it in Swahili, bro. They or we, because you are not ours. Okay. I've translated it to Kiswahili, but still. But let me know, are you okay? Are you okay? Haruna, you're saying plate. What is plate? Are you guys okay, or am I hallucinating or something? Isaac, I think Carrick will be confirmed from the look of things. And that's what I don't want. I keep flip-flopping, but I don't want If I'm being a brutal fan, no. No, 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 no. If he performs well, give him the contract, but don't give him a 3-year project. You can give him the contract as you're looking for someone who fits the project. Because he deserves to be at the interview. I keep saying, if he continues performing well, do not hand him the job. Let him interview like the rest of the guys. Because if you're looking at someone like Luis Enrique and you're looking at someone like Carrick, and both of them are available, who will you go for? United needs a coach like Luis Enrique, someone who can be able to handle egos, someone who has managed big clubs, someone who can say a no and it's a no, not someone to impress players. So if Carrick continues performing well, he deserves to be given a chance to interview for the role, not just to be handed it to him like the way it happened with Ole. No, if we are being brutally honest, part of being a Manchester United fan or a fan of your club is at times being honest. Let's just be honest. Are we ready to go to another Ole Gunnar kind of situation? Because there are similarities. There are similarities. Right now, Carrick's MO is not philosophy, it's not rebuild. Right now, there are certain headaches he does not have. There are certain issues he's not dealing with. His priority is winning matches to get to Champions League. Now, when he's handed the full-time job, the permanent job, that is, priorities change. And United need a manager who can be able to deal with player power, player egos, and manage this huge club, because it's a huge job. You need someone who has worked like Enrique. Luis Enrique is a perfect fit because he's worked at Barcelona, he's worked at PSG. He can be able to tell players no, like the way he did to Mbappe. He told Mbappe, if you don't press, the rest of the team suffers. I'm not saying Carrick can't, but we've seen what happened with Ole. He started by getting wins, allowing players to be expressive, not being so much of a disciplinarian. But now, when the time came that actually he needed to stamp his foot down, lost the dressing room. We need to be honest. That job is big. A club like United, you can't gamble. You can't gamble. Honestly, you can't. If you are being honest, you can't gamble at United. You can't. Spongy, you are saying I agree. I'm not fully convinced by Carrick, although he has done a good job so far. Yes, he has. He has. I'm not saying he hasn't. And I'm saying he needs to interview like every other manager who's going to be interviewed for that role, not just handing him the contract like we did with Ole and Ferdinand saying give him the contract, let him sign it. No, we can't afford such kind of a thing. As a United fan, I'm tired of this start, stop. Start a project, stop midway. Scrap it. Start another one, stop. No. As I said previously, let's put emotions aside. Let's put sentiments aside. Let's think logically. We love Carrick. I love Carrick. I love the job he's doing. I acknowledge he has done a far much better job than Amorim, but his current MO is not building this club. His current MO is getting wins, getting Champions League. That's it. And if I was in Carrick's position, I would be very hesitant to take that job. Because that United job is a big job. It needs a big personality. It needs someone like Ancelotti, someone like Klopp, someone like Luis Enrique. It needs that kind of a personality, someone who can stand up and the players give them respect. We don't want sentimentality, because a former boy, even us, we know how we are. If an alumni of your campus comes to your section, you'll get used to him. You'll start telling me, we kwenda, we ishia. You know? Yeah, so let him interview like every other manager that will be interviewed. Yeah. Isaac, you're not saying. Ooh, I'm starting to get tired. Isaac Mishanti, you're saying if we get rid of injury-prone players, I will be happy next summer because that's a big problem we got. Yeah, and we mentioned it yesterday with Casey. I think I also posted a video on it on TikTok. Yes, I did. There is no point of keeping 6 players who are injury-prone. 6 players who are injury-prone on the squad just because one time they will play well or they were playing well. No. Let's look at the hard facts. Who are the injury-prone players? Luke Shaw, De Ligt, Martinez, Mason Mount, Harry Maguire. The other one I forgot, and Malacia. 6 players who are very injury-prone. At least Maguire has had some consistency. 6 players. Why keep them? Why pay salaries for guys who are always on the injury list? Malacia hasn't played for what, 18 months? Sell him. Get someone who's reliable. Mason Mount, he's like glass. Plays 10 minutes, 30 minutes there, gets injured for 3 months. On huge wages, very expensive player, sell him. Get someone else. For example, sell Mason Mount, go for another young a player who can play left mid or CAM. Martinez is good. Martinez is a very good player, but he's unreliable. Yesterday I mentioned Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial to me was even better than Rashford. As a forward, Anthony Martial was better than Rashford. He was not one-dimensional. Martial was handling the ball with his feet. It's like he was using his hands. It's like his feet was his hands. He could do things with that ball that makes you wonder whether he's human. But one good performance, 2 good weeks, then he's injured for 6 months. So get rid of all of them. Get rid. Don't need to have 5-6 players on the injury list. Let those 5 positions be given to young, energetic player. And United need to be moving that way. Once they see a player for 2 seasons, he's always going back to the injury list, just sell him. When he gets fit, give him 10 minutes there, 20 minutes here and there, sell him, even if it's at a loss, let him go. Get someone who's reliable. There is one of the reasons why Dalot keeps playing, however erratic he is, however his performance are all over. Dalot always plays because he's reliable. Dalot rarely gets injured, rarely gets tired. And that's the sort of player United should sign. Spongy, you are saying, I agree. I'm not fully convinced by Carrick, although he has done a good job so far. I agree with you as well. He's done a good job, but still, no. That job is too big. It's too big. Polka, you are saying, I like your thinking. I'm also not pro Carrick, despite the fact that he's done some great job. Yes. Samburu, big up. You're saying Carrick needs full support to get what's Manchester United need to achieve. Carrick and any other manager. But now there are some things that a manager who's dealing with a big club need. Players tend to respect experienced managers in big clubs. One of the reasons why Alonso had an issue at Real Madrid is because some of the players are looking at him and telling him, you used to play the other day. So what are you telling us? Okay, I'm assuming that's what they were saying. So you can imagine Carlo Ancelotti, they wouldn't go against him because he's experienced. He's experienced and he knows how to deal with egos. He knows how to deal with big names. So the United job is a huge job. It's a very big job. You need a manager who will come in and be able to deal with all these personalities. At one point, United will sign players who think they are stars, all of them. And he needs to find a way to make all of them work as a team. For example, what Ruben Amorim did in his long or short time at United, you could see the team started playing as a team. They were fighting for each other. They were running hard. They were pressing hard. They were correcting each other on the pitch. They were hyping each other because he removed that player power. He removed that ego. The likes of Rashford, Garnacho thought that they were the be-all, end-all. He removed that. So would Carrick be able to do that? Because currently what he's done is amazing, but it's a different job than having a permanent role. Right now he's focused on winning results. There are some things he will let slide. But now when he's given the full-time job, the permanent role, there are some things that you will have to stamp authority and say, no, it's not going to work. But does he have that personality, that experience to deal with all these egos? That's where my question is. That's where my question. You look at someone like Vincent Kompany. You look at how he is. He's a very strong character. How many times have you seen videos of Vincent Kompany shouting at players? He does not care whether you have more trophies than him, but he's stamping authority. United need a manager like that. Someone who will come and tell a player, I don't care whether you've won 10 Champions Leagues. You're playing for me. You either play for me or leave. Like the way Luis Enrique did with Mbappe. He told him, when you don't press, he actually took him to the TV room, a whole projector, showed him clips of how he was not running and pressing. And he told him, you see, when you don't press, the rest of the guys have to work harder and it makes it difficult for the rest of the team. Look at that PSG team right now. Everyone is running like a mad dog. You remember that photo, that clip of Dembele, the way he's looking at the goalkeeper and the ball like this. He's waiting for the goalkeeper to make the pass. Mbappe couldn't do that. You look at how Amorim dealt with Rashford. You told him, oh, you don't want to run. You don't want to run back. You don't want to defend. Leave. So we need, if Carrick is going to get that job, he needs to have that kind of authority. If he sees someone not running, because right now, let me tell you, one dynamic a lot of fans are forgetting. These players will work hard. These players are going to run hard. They are going to perform well because World Cup is coming up. That's one thing a lot of fans are forgetting. These players right now, they will do all they can. They will have the best performances. They will be team players. They will have good assists, good goals, just because of the World Cup. What happens next season? What happens? Some players are fighting just to participate in the Champions League because they have not participated in the Champions League. So that might be their goal. I'm in the Champions League. Goal achieved. So Carrick needs to have that ruthlessness. For example, Luis Enrique won't joke about. He will tell you off. He will tell the players off. We can't afford to have another Ole kind of situation. I believe if Sancho was signed by someone like Amorim or Eric Ten Hag, he wouldn't have behaved the way he behaved. Because Ole allowed these players to have a lot of freedom. These guys were coming to training late. No consequence. So it became a habit. So right now, the training time has been shortened. The intensity has been increased. Guess what that does? The players get happy. I mean, instead of training 6 hours, I'm training 4 hours. I have more freedom to do what I want. Now, what happens when he says, sorry, guys, we now have to train 8 hours a day? What would the response be? What would be the response be? Spongy, you are saying, I don't think Carrick has solutions to teams playing a low block like the West Ham game. As I said, patterns, a way of playing. Apparently, the United way of playing is playing on the counter. That's United way. And we did a whole debate about that topic, and we realized that a lot of Manchester United fans don't even understand what the United way is. Just do your own research what the United way is. There is nowhere it says counter-attacking football. It just says playing, attacking, exciting football. And attacking football is not always counter-attack. Desire, big up. You're saying even if we hate Amorim, he helped us, bro. He did. But because guys are so angry with him, they are so emotional when you mention the name, they will rubbish you and saying that you are an Amorim sympathizer, you don't like Carrick. They judge you for giving hard facts. He helped us a lot. Desire, but for sure, Manchester United need to run the midfield. They do. They need to run 90 minutes. Finally, Sammy, you're saying UKG, I totally agree with you about confirming Carrick. Yeah, just wait. Wait. It's not yet time. Ineos, please, just wait. Don't do another Ole mistake. Don't. Sammy, Manchester United players need a ruthless coach who has the support of the owners. Yeah, same thing I've said. Let's be honest. As United fans, let's be honest. Manchester United need an experienced manager. Experienced. Let's not have another Amorim mistake. A young, exciting manager. No. Let's not have another Ole situation. No. And if United decide to go with Carrick or decide to go with Nagelsmann, who are young managers, then, as Rohosafi is saying, patience. Patience is needed. But United fans, it's difficult. You are saying we've had experienced managers as well. Mourinho, Van Gaal, all failed. Why did they fail, Rohosafi? I think that will be the last point I discuss before ending. Why did they fail? Rohosafi, why did they fail? You've stated they failed. Let's discuss why they failed. Impatience from the board as well as fans. Now, if we take the period from Ferguson leaving the club to now, the experienced managers are the ones that have won trophies for United. Hard fact. Louis van Gaal won a trophy, FA Cup. Jose Mourinho, Europa League, as well as Carabao. Eric Ten Hag, experienced. Carabao and FA Cup. Ole Gunnar did not win a trophy. Amorim did not win a trophy. Inexperienced managers at the highest level. Look at those names you've mentioned. You say they've failed. In comparison to who? Ferguson. But if we are honest, the experienced managers, after Sir Alex Ferguson was sacked, they are the ones that have won the trophies. Moyes was experienced, but not at the highest level. He was managing a mid-table club. Inexperience at the highest level. Ole, inexperience at the highest level. Amorim, a bit, let's say, subpar. Highest level, but not the level of Premier League. Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Eric Ten Hag, experienced managers, won trophies at United. So they haven't failed. Experienced managers haven't failed. And if we say they failed, as you say, impatience from the board as well as the fans, they failed because of poor planning, poor recruitment. Louis van Gaal wanted good players. He did not get them. Jose Mourinho wanted to get rid of some players like Rashford, Martial, Pogba. What happened? The fans said, we'd rather sack you. Mourinho wanted to sell Luke Shaw. You remember? He wanted to sell all those players and get other players. What was he told? It's cheaper to sack you. They started having issues with the board. He was sacked. So he wasn't supported. The fans also played a role. How can you sell Pogba? How can you sell Martial? How can you sell Rashford? Where are they now? Are they still at the club? Same players that were giving Mourinho issues left the club last season. So the experienced managers didn't fail because of their experience. They failed because they were not supported by this club. They were not supported. Louis van Gaal wants a good winger. They buy Di Maria because he will sell shirts. Mourinho wants a good forward he can work with. What does he get? Zlatan. Because he will sell shirts. You remember that Europa League final? How many players were in clutches? And he still won the Europa League final. So he did not fail. Experienced managers have not failed at United. So United need to go for an experienced manager, not a rookie, not someone who has had some good time in a lower team or a lower league, and then they say, no, that can't work. At United, it can't. Probably at Bayern, it can, because they have their own system. But at United, they need a very, very experienced manager. So guys on YouTube, guys on Facebook, thanks a lot for being live. So jump over to TikTok. I'll continue this discussion on TikTok. There are so many things to discuss. I don't want to extend a lot on YouTube. So guys on YouTube, jump to the TikTok page. We are going to continue the chat there. Probably have a late night chat. So see you guys. Bye-bye.